too left a void in the reporting team. The agency said she took with her the high standards of quality news writing, which were reflected in the many stories that she authored. Her close friend and colleague Chris Pattison said, "I met Al when I joined JIS in 2008 and we developed a close and unbreakable bond of friendship over the years. I respected her skills as a prolific writer and a journalist of high integrity. I valued her friendship and cherished her honesty and genuineness dearly. There are no words to express the depth of my sorrow," Pattison said. Deputy Chief Executive Officer Celia Lindsay remembered Smith as an excellent news writer who was committed to getting the job done at a high standard always. "Alicia's passing is a tremendous loss and we are deeply saddened," she said. "The legacy of Smith's work is recorded in the archive of stories she crafted on various topics. She has captured the history of the nation, documented the voice of authorities and beneficiaries, and has left material for students, researchers, and the future generation to consume." The JIS expresses condolence to Alicia's family, particularly her son, friends, colleagues, and the Jamaica Observer and the wider journalistic fraternity.
Look at that story about that journalist, and I don't know her. I've never heard about her, but it's good that she's been honored for the legacy that she left, and I don't know what her motivation was, but as for like me and myself, I don't consider myself a journalist, but I do research because I like to know how things work. I operate better and have a peace of mind when I know how things work, because when something is happening to me, I always want to figure out why. I'm a person, I'm always trying to figure out why. Even as a child, I remember when I was young, I'm a little brother, and we're all in the room with my friend them, and we're play video game, like say a new game come, like a new game that we never play yet. Everybody was jumping and play. I don't want jumping and play right away. I read the manual, I do every other thing, I go through the options and like everything. Everybody talk about just like start the game and you start the game now. And so I always find time for waste time. But that's just the nature of my personality. I don't jump in and do anything until I know how stuff works. There was this website called How Stuff Works. I don't know if it's still there. HowStuffWorks.com, which is one of my favorite sites. That and Life Hacker, because basically my thing was just mapping out life and knowing how stuff works. That's just the nature of my personality. So I look on that now, and as I think back to my Instagram page, this is just me. I had like discovered some stuff. Yes, that's true, amen. I had discovered some stuff, and as I see right here, and I was shocked by what I found out, and I thought this changed everything. I thought this changed every single thing, and I had found out that gangsterism was an invention by the CIA, because black people were moving up in life, and they couldn't hold us back anymore, so they had to give us something to lead us, because after the civil rights movement, right, where everybody is kumbaya and love and so forth, the only thing we could do from there is move on up. And as J. Edgar Hoover said, the biggest threat to black people, biggest threat to the states is like a unified black people. And also black people were going to move up, we were going to be students, we were allowed to go in schools now, allowed to go colleges. So from there, it was up, we're bigger, we're stronger, we're more athletic and all them stuff there. So it was like they had to find a way to subjugate and arrest our development. There was a group called Arrested Development, what they like, because just the name alone. So Arrested Development. So they had to arrest our development, and in order to do that, they gave us gangsterism. They started to give us movies like Shaft and Superfly and Foxy Brown and a bunch of them and things of that nature. That's what they gave us to like shape our values. And then they start to push drugs and things in the neighborhood. Everybody know that I'm farmer. Them want to push drugs in the neighborhood so bad that them kill a doctor, a white doctor, on an army base, because them find out the drugs that come in from dead bodies of soldiers who had faulty weapons, coincidentally. So there was a like mass death in the Vietnam War and things of that nature. So I'm not really going along. So the drugs had to come in, it had to go to the neighborhoods. The Black Panthers had to go, and things of that nature, who will show us. So people think the term industry plant is like a new thing. No, many of the old rappers and old stuff from them time, they were industry plants. So basically, that's what I don't know what her motivation was, you know. So, and this is mine to like educate people. And I did it until I think I fulfilled the course and the mastery. I like this. This is Civic with a Bugatti front. See that? I talk about the relevance of the car. So I also do it to really show people who I am, you know. I'm not what is portrayed and perceived, you know.
All this.
So
They are now hot military men. They are now all this.
that's who the real
Forward
Nazi
this break.
is, not Trump.
Military men.
Anyway,
Helicopter.
so basically that's that. So I'm not really going on. I'm doing things for the right reasons. I'm not doing it for forward. I'm not doing it based on approval like some of people say. Right here, yeah, like yeah. I do this not thinking what the reception will be. I do this as a people gets a song. So the only thing I do and wonder what the reception will be like is music. Because if you take time to write some music, you want to make sure say it hit the target audience. Not hit the target, meaning when it reach the demographic, you know, that they actually like the music. So when I'm doing these news things and so forth, it doesn't matter to me, you know. So that's basically that. So hit that. And speaking of news, hold on, let me scratch. Speaking of news, last night I was yada yada yada. Oh, watching news and I see where them talk about them find Usain Bolt money. No, them say SSL find some of the money or them they give back some people some money. 78 million. I'm not sure how much Usain Bolt have, but I think he should get back a lot of his money because I think he more. I'm not sure the figure, but I'm quite sure it's over 10 million a month. And if it's 10 million or 78 million, then fine. It will be probably divided up in a portion specific amount to all the members who lost money based on how much while in service of his country, which he has been doing from he was a young child. And it hints of collusion when I heard that Andrew Holness had money in the same investment scheme and he took out his money before. That sounds like insider knowledge. So they have an obligation to get Usain Bolt his money back. That's what I do believe, you know. So I hope that happens. And there is a Bolt song that I want to make people hear because it's the first Bolt song in the world, the first Usain Bolt song in the world, and it was written when I was at the World Junior Games in 2002. So yeah, 2002, where I first saw Usain Bolt, and I'm not a track and field fan. I went to St. George's College, which is a school that never good in track and field. So I never even got a champ set. I had no interest, you know. One thing I like was 100 meter, Juliet Cuthbert, Merlin Atty, and stuff like that, and them kind of thing there. So I have no interest in tracks. But going to the World Junior Games and seeing the performance of Usain Bolt, that instantly made me have an interest in tracks. And I've never heard of this person before, and I just got in, you know, and I was so like blown away by what I saw. I started to make a song about Bolt right then and there, you know, like I just started freestyle. That was in 2002. So like I started rap like this kid named Bolt, he faster than a bullet from a Colt. 4-5, no bullshit, no jab, quicker than how you run when he's walking by. And it's not drugs, raw talent that the Lord provide. When he is on the track, all eyes open wide. People jumping, screaming, proud to show their pride. But he's only 16, it's frightening. But no, you see why they call him lightning. It's not like you might win, it's a sure thing. Lane 4, speeding yellow, blur thing. Sipping on Medina behind the curtain. He's gonna fuck around and break a world record for certain. That last part was written, I think, one time I got home. The part about him sipping on Medina is because I saw an interview with his coach. I'm not sure if I see it while I was at the stadium or on the radio. And the coach, Glenn Mills at the time, was asking him why I'm so fast, what him feed him. And the coach was saying that him give him roots and Medina. So that is Usain Bolt's secret weapon. So I was a secret. Too bad. But I hope not, but because I never ever heard that mentioned in any other interview. But them talk about yam and chicken nuggets, but him never mentioned Medina. So I don't know if that's a secret of Usain Bolt or the entire Jamaican track team why we're so fast. Usain Bolt now run again, so there you go. And I don't think it's that because when the girl from America came here, Shakari Wilson, no, what's her name? Shakari or whatever, I don't know her last name. She got faster training with the Jamaican track people who are training. Shelly and Fraser Francis or whatever. Yeah, so when Nike got her that deal and she started training with the MVP track club, she get faster. So just that. So let's see. So that's it. That's the Usain Bolt song. So look out for enough things coming in the future. You know, starting I'd say next week. As I get my life in order. I'm cleaning up my room now. Cause my room messy. But I'm the type of person is my environment oftentimes reflect what I'm doing. So I was cleaning out some dirty crosses out of my life and just try to get my life and my body and everything in like good health, feeling how it should. I was not, and I felt like taking away from that would have been like a waste of time, and I was just focus on what I was doing. So I ordered some new sheets because these are the only sheets what I like, and I don't see them selling in Jamaica. You know what I mean? And it's not like George said just stain, because even when it wash, stay the same way. It have like the green juice and and iron on the pillow where like my press it basically to like get off germs, cause sometimes like I should look at white powder or some sticky stuff. So yeah, after I wash my pillowcase or also like these kinds, I actually press it because I want my with the steam, because I want to rest my face on to be clean, but I don't want to bump or anything I stick up on my face. So it kind of give like a bad thing on the, like a burn mark or like green juice thing on the pillowcase, which when the new one come, I'll try to be more careful in how I sterilize it. I also had a garment steamer that, press is like you just put in water and plug it in and it steams. So I'm thinking about getting something like that again. So that's just basically it in like a nutshell. So this is page. This is what I have been doing from way back when, from 2016 or like stuff like that nature. And I need to rewatch many of these because the knowledge what I have then, the knowledge what I have now, I never have then. So I'm looking back at some of these, and to be honest, some of the things what I say surprised me because I never noticed it before back then. So I would love to rewatch all these videos, but unfortunately, as I said earlier, I do have the hard drive because police come to my house and take on my hard drive when I was sick and went to the hospital. Why they need my hard drive, I do not know. So this is a great comedian named George Carlin. He was talking about what was wrong with the states and how them can, but it basically we was talking about what's wrong with the globalists.
The poor are there just to scare the shit out of the middle class. Fucking social classes in this country. Why? Racial division.
That's what a guy named Breitbart. He's dead now under mysterious circumstances. Criticize Obama and all them people. So Breitbart, which is basically what I saw myself as a child growing up, as in like a disruptor, like a Bart Simpson type person who's also bright. So yeah. So this one here.
After spending over a decade and trillions of dollars into this military-industrial complex looking for men in caves,
The fact that you have this war on terror, there's no real enemy. The fact that you have this war on terror, there's no real enemy. And talking about how by having this war on terror, you can never win it because
before anybody even got a picture that he actually exists. And then half the men that were on that mission died in extortion.
The fact that you have this
war. People who themselves to kill, and Bin Laden died because I don't know, people find out whatever, but I honestly think Barack Obama is Bin Laden. Whatever Osman or whatever, and I'm sure the picture side by side how him favor him or something. But I guess not because Bin Laden kind of old more, so I don't know.
To fight against the communists, and Al-Qaeda was run by the son of the close friends of the Bushes, the Bin Ladens.
As far-fetched as they sound.
because your cause is right. God is on your side.
To fight against the counter Al-Qaeda. Both of those previous terrorist groups were created and funded by the American government. The Mujahideen was radicalized by the globalist warmonger Zbigniew Brzezinski.
And you'll have your homes, your mosques back again. Because
Names like the Mujahideen or Al-Qaeda. Both of those previous terrorist groups were created and funded by the American government.
The terrorists and their affiliates are at war.
Basically, that's it in a nutshell. So I hope everything work out. So that's it. So that's the song. And the thing is, when this was made, the coffins what I'm buying, when this was made, the amount of the length of time that you could upload on a video was short. So I couldn't make it as long as how. That's why there's so much videos now, because I think it was only like 10 or 15 seconds or 10 seconds alone you could do per video on Instagrams. If I could do it now, it would have been much better. In fact, if I had all the data still, I would. I would probably redo everything and like upload it in longer length, and it will be much more like cohesive and less scrolling. But if you're going through this site, I recommend that you do it from like down below come up, because the earlier videos are the ones below.
Examples of just discrepancies of like green screen acting and stuff like that, and what we've suspected long time that these ISIS beheadings were fake. I mean, there's so many examples of just discrepancies of like green screen acting and stuff like that, and what we've suspected long time that these ISIS beheadings were fake. I mean, there's so many examples of just discrepancies of like green screen acting and to scare the shit out of the ignorant masses. They have green screen beheadings, 7-foot tall terrorists. They have cool cinematographers, like in Wag the Dog. They even have cool British accents. A super villain team named ISIS was born with superpowers and weapons to scare the shit out of the ignorant masses. They have green screen beheadings, 7-foot tall terrorists. They have cool cinematographers, like in Wag the Dog. They even have cool British accents. A super villain team named ISIS was born with superpowers and weapons to scare the shit out of the ignorant masses. They have green screen beheadings, 7-foot tall terrorists. Super villain team named ISIS was born with superpowers and weapons to scare the shit out of the ignorant masses.
They have green screen behead.
And there's also a movie named Kick-Ass, which I think I need to watch to get more into. What's wrong with this anyway? There it is. So that's basically that. Anyway, that's that. Take care. I won't make this long. This is just to explain, and it's right here.